somewhere along the way, it was determined that selling drugs is a marketable product. Because once you get a person started, you know, they find out that they can't stop until the drug is gone or the money is gone. I have a passion for people, and I have been in positions where I could help people who were in crisis. I'm an addict in recovery, and for me to keep what I have, which is my recovery, I have to give it away. I'm involved in a program that has to do with awareness. Many of those who have a problem with alcohol and drugs, a person just doesn't know what to do. Many of the addicts had to go through enough pain in order for them to become willing to work on change.
Peace and love. My name is Khalid Watson, and the title of this presentation is The Plight of an Addict, starring Lonnie T. Edwards. Let's listen to Mr. Edwards as he talk about mental health, and we'll be right back.
Also have a mental health disorder. One who does not receive treatment, there are some consequences. Homelessness, with the job loss, family loss. Recovering is an everyday process. It requires a lot of effort to work on change. It's about letting people know where I come from. Many people don't know or understand the plight of an addict.
Welcome back. My name is Khalid Watson. The title of this presentation is entitled
The Plight of an Addict.
Enjoy.
Lonnie T. Many people call me Lonnie Edwards, but I answer to either one of those names.
So what do you do with the organization 1212?
Well, what I do there is really go there to fellowship and also to attend 12-step meetings. And I go to definitely play some pinochle with the fellas and the ladies, and every now and then I go to the basement and shoot some pool. But it's a place I go where that's safe, where I can go and be around people who are recovering, people who are not using drugs, and people who have found a way to make certain changes in their life and have become successful. Recovering is an everyday process. It requires a lot of effort to work on change, and to be able to be in a position to work on change, first have to be willing. Many of those who have a problem with alcohol and drugs also have a mental health disorder that needs to be addressed. For one who does not receive treatment, there are some consequences, and they're unpleasant ones. It's not just about jails and death. We're talking about homelessness, with the job loss, family loss, and so many other things that happens for one who finds a way, does not find a way to stop and using drugs and stay stopped. And really the neighborhoods, oh my God, when we look at the neighborhoods today, and compare them with the way they used to be when the neighborhoods were peaceful, we look at neighborhoods now where there are drug sales, there's crime, the border of houses, and a lot of that is attributed to the problem with drugs in our community. And if people knew more about addiction, drug abuse, and about how one can identify the need for treatment and be willing to get the treatment and stay and then go into recovery, you'll see a change in our neighborhood. These are places where we feel those neighborhoods need to get involved with some type of effort in order for people to be more educated about the disease of addiction, more educated about the solution. Because oftentimes a person just doesn't know what to do. I remember when years ago, when I had a problem with drinking, I didn't know I had a problem. And not too long ago when I had a problem with drugs, in the beginning, I didn't realize it was a problem. It wasn't until all of a sudden I realized that I was about to lose my job, I was about to lose my family, I lost self-respect from us, I recognized that I wasn't the person I used to be, you know what I mean? Because I had all of a sudden realized that I had this disease called addiction, which is mental, physical, and spiritual. The disease of addiction, we're looking at something that is incurable, but it can be treated. But for it to be treated, one has to be willing to receive the treatment that is offered. My main focus really is the addict and the people affected by the addict. And the solution there is a need to have the education. See, we're talking about some of the problems that exist with drug addiction and drug-related problems has to do with fear, ignorance, and denial. Okay. The ignorance part can be resolved through education. The denial part can also be done through education. Now, I'm sorry to say is that many of the addicts had to go through enough pain in order for them to become willing to work on change. And it might take time, and it might be too late for many because they end up in jail, or they end up dying, or they end up having a disease that kills them. Many addicts I know today are on dialysis, have developed certain type of cancers, have acquired other conditions that are not really curable. And in the end, with most, it will kill them. You know what I mean? But we can prevent that from happening. First of all, if we get to the young population, get into the schools, get into the kids on the streets, in the neighborhoods, the ones who have very little to do. Because in many communities, there are no community centers or programs geared towards giving kids an opportunity to learn positive things. We're gonna argue about this. Primary concern, really, again, it goes to the individual, the families, and the neighborhoods. Individual, family, and the neighborhood.